it again.
Yo, what up? In this video, I'm gonna walk you guys through my quick 3-day split. This is a really fast and good workout to follow if you're a busy student or just busy in general. And if you just started working out, don't worry, I'm gonna explain everything so it's very clear and easy to follow. So yeah, keep watching. Let's guess Franklin's weight.
I'm guessing.
Andrew, I'm gonna guess 500.
500.
Hello, my fat friends. We're gonna do a week of workouts, college edition. You guys can follow along. It's a very simple split. And yeah, look how sick my alien is. You know what you have to do today?
Huh?
You know what you have to do today?
Push?
No, you have to film.
Oh.
Okay, so I do a really simple 3-day split. It's just push-pull legs. Today we're doing push, so I'm gonna start off by doing some dips. I like starting with dips since they're a compound exercise that pretty much use all the muscles that I'll be training later on in the same day. I like doing them first since in the beginning of the workout, obviously I have more energy. And then later on when I'm doing more isolating exercises, I feel like overall I don't need as much energy. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, as long as I'm not in a rush, I do 3 sets for each exercise. Make sure you keep your shoulder blades pushed down the entire time you do this. Just imagine you're like the opposite of a hunchback. Another really important thing to keep in mind is make sure you're not locking your elbows out completely when you're at the top. You can kind of see better from this camera angle. When I'm at the top, I'm not completely like leaving my arm straight. I'm leaving some bend in it. That's because it can put a lot of stress on your elbows and it's just not good for you. So don't lock your elbows out. Also, a thing I see a lot of newer people to the gym or just dips in general is they let their elbows flare out to the sides when they're doing dips. You want to try and keep your elbows very in line and just like close to your torso the whole time you do it. You can kind of see it better from the different angle. And this goes for every exercise we're doing today. Just make sure you're doing everything really slow and controlled. Doing this helps you get full range of motion, and it also helps you build more endurance since your muscles are going to be under tension for a longer time. Okay, so now we're on to the next exercise. We're going to do dumbbell shoulder press. You can kick the dumbbells up with your knees if you don't want to be an idiot like me. Makes it easier. And okay, the main thing I see a lot of people mess up with this exercise is they leave their elbows completely to their sides when they do this. You want to keep your elbows like tucked in, not completely straight out. Otherwise, you're going to get like really bad shoulder pain. Another mistake a lot of people make is they let their butt scoot up to the front of the seat and then they arch their back out. Don't do this. It's not working out what you want and it's really bad for your spine. And it's the same thing as before. When you're bringing the weight down, just be really slow and controlled. And then when you're bringing the weight up, you can kind of do a more explosive motion, which you can see me doing here. Okay, next we got overhead tricep extension. I'm not gonna lie, I would normally do this with the cable machine, but my wrist is a little messed up right now, so I can't do that. So for form on this one, I think it's pretty easy. You just kind of make a spear shape with your fingers on the inside of the dumbbell, and then you should keep your wrist straightish so that when the dumbbell's at the top, it kind of faces straight. Obviously, I'm not doing that in this clip. It's because my wrist hurts, so don't follow my form exactly from this clip. And when you bring the weight back down, you can stop when your elbows are at like a 90-degree angle about. I think that's pretty much it for this one. Again, I don't normally do this one. I do an exercise with the cable machine, but this is what I have to do because my wrist hurts. Okay, we got the last push exercise of the day. We got chest flies. Okay, so first, make sure the height you set your chair to be makes it so your arms are about even with your chest. And then when you're ready to go, make sure you have your feet planted, have your chest kind of puffed out, and then push your shoulders down. And the main thing I'd say a lot of people mess up with this exercise on is they eventually let their body arch in and their chest kind of hunches in. So keep your chest puffed out, keep your back on the seat, and do nice clean reps. Oh, and then let me talk about breathing really quickly. This applies for all the exercises I do. Whenever I'm on the negative, so when I'm bringing the weight back to where it started, I'm inhaling. And then whenever I'm pushing the weight out or I'm on the positive, I'm exhaling. And then I always end my workout with a little bit of core. I'll show all the exercises on the screen. I do each one for like a minute with a few seconds of rest in between.
How do you feel?
Feel great.
No, you don't.
Good gang.
What's up? Ready for dinner?
Yeah. 150 to 250. I had to go to class for 3.
You go to class right after the gym or start that?
Yeah, bro.
It's just for a couple.
For YouTube?
Okay.
Alright, day 2, we got pull. First exercise is lat pull downs. Before you start, make sure that the top pad thing that locks your thighs in is as low as it can get while your feet are still flat on the ground. Oh yeah, normally I wouldn't use this dumb short bar, but all the longer ones were taken, so I had to. If I had the longer bar, I'd be grabbing it with my hands at about a shoulder width distance apart. Alright, form on this one. Make sure you have your chin kind of back, have your chest puffed out, and make sure you can really feel your upper back coming together as you bring the weight down. It's like what I was saying earlier about being the reverse hunchback, or the opposite, whatever I said. The main thing everybody messes up with this is they start using momentum to really bring the weight down when it's getting too heavy for them. And then they start arching in and their chest caves in and they just look like a dolphin, just like momentuming a bunch of reps. So you don't need to do that. Just have nice, clean, slow reps. It's everything I've been saying earlier. You can see how when I'm bringing the weight down, I'm going a little quicker. But then every time I bring the weight back up to the starting position, I'm going nice and slow because I want to control it. Just do that for everything and you'll be good. Okay, next exercise, we're doing the seated row machine. So form on this one, you gotta keep your knees kind of bent, but not too much. And then hunch in to reach the handles, but keep your knees in the exact same angle the whole time. Then when you're all ready, you can start bringing the weight into your stomach area. Make sure you're not bringing the weight into your chest because you're not gonna be working out your back as well. Another thing about form that's kind of tricky for me to explain on this one is you can see every time I have the weight close to my stomach area, I do lean a little bit more out and my back isn't perfectly straight. This is because I can get a really good feel for my back and I can tell I'm getting a really good extension for my back. But if you're just starting out, I would recommend keeping your back straight the whole time. This is because if you do the thing that I do where I bend my back a little bit during the exercise, it can be really easy to start using momentum and you won't even realize it. And then after you do this exercise a couple times, you'll get a better feel for your back muscles and you should be able to start leaning a little bit more to get a better extension. But always remember to just don't momentum. Even I catch myself doing it sometimes and I just immediately stop. So always keep that in the back of your mind. It got kind of busy while we were filming this, so I apologize. Some of the angles are not too good for this one. So starting off on this exercise, have the bench flat and then lay the dumbbell on one side. And then you want to place your hand that's not going to be lifting the weight on the bench so you can, use it as support to keep you level. And then stick your foot out on the side that you're going to be lifting the weight with. And then your other leg's knee should be on the bench with your foot hanging slightly off of it. So when you're actually doing the exercise on this one, lift your glutes up, puff your chest out, and straighten out your back. And when I'm doing this, I'm trying to hit my upper back more, so I'm bringing the weight towards my chest area. And it's just the same stuff as before. Be nice, slow, and controlled. You can see every time I go down. Extend all the way down, and then come back up. Don't stop halfway or very significantly before you can fully extend your arm down. Like you can see, I'm almost touching the floor when I go down before I come back up. Okay, last exercise of the day, we got some curls. I think the basic motion is pretty simple, just bring the dumbbells up to your shoulders. And then the whole time, you want to keep your elbows locked in about the same place. Obviously, my elbows aren't in the exact same place the whole time I do this, but in general, I'm not rocking them around because I don't want to assist my bicep in any other way. Honestly though, looking back at this footage, I feel like I do move my elbows still a little too much, so I'm going to keep note of that from now on. Also, I like to have a little rotation in the beginning of the curl, since I think having your palms face to the side at the bottom of this exercise really helps you fully reset your arm and make sure you're getting full range of motion. And then for this one, on the second set, I do something that's a little different than the first set. I go for a lot of endurance during this set, so what I do is I keep the dumbbell at a certain position for about 3 seconds, and then I move to the next position and hold it again for 3 seconds, and then I just repeat until failure. And you can see the positions where I hold the dumbbells are is when I'm at the top, when they're close to my shoulders, then a little bit lower than my shoulder area where you should feel the most strain, and then finally it's at a lower point that's just a little bit above where you start the motion. And then for my last set, I just do the same thing as the first set, and then yeah, we're done with pull. Oh yeah, and I just realized I didn't film any of the stretching I do at the end of my workout because I'm an idiot and I forgot to. But you guys can look up stretches for whatever specific muscles you worked out that day. You should really stretch. I was one of those people that was just whatever, I don't need to stretch, it does nothing for me. And then I started working out, and especially after this pull workout or this back workout, if I don't stretch, I'd say probably half the time during the night I feel some sort of back pain, and I never feel this pain when I stretch, so you guys should really stretch. Oh yeah, okay, actually yeah, this is a fun little break. Okay, let's guess Franklin's weight.
Guesses before you go? 170.
I think you're 220.
220? 220?
Yeah. Dang, you got not as fat. Alright, your turn, Andrew.
I'm guessing.
Andrew, I'm gonna guess 500.
132.
I gotta get my phone weight.
I'm guessing 134. Imagine I weigh less than Andrew. That would just be anorexic of me.
Actually, 133.
Damn.
Oh my god, I might actually. Alright, someone before me. Alright, do the guess of me. Get a full body guess of me.
I'm guessing 130, 137.
140.
No, actually, yeah, you're right. 141. 141.
What? Are you kidding me? Dude, I'm so fat right now. This is embarrassing, man. Okay, last day of the split. It's everybody's favorite day, leg day. We're gonna start off with some barbell squats. You can see I'm actually warming up for once. I probably should do this for everything, but I don't. When I do squats without warming up, I actually die. So this is the one exercise I make sure to always warm up for. Alright, I think a really hard thing for people new to squat is the bar placement. I try and place the bar on my upper traps. I'll zoom in so you guys can see it better. I actually think I put them a little bit lower than my upper traps, and this helps to activate your glutes and your lower back a little bit more. But I would not worry about that at all if I was new to squats. I would just worry about finding a place where the bar feels really comfortable and it's just not causing me any pain or discomfort. You can also see I'm flexing my upper back together before I place the bar. I just do this because it helps me make a little cushion and it makes bar placement easier and consistent. Okay, you see how fast I walked out once I got the bar on me? You gotta do that. Don't waste a bunch of energy just walking out slowly with the weight. There's no point. Okay, now foot placement. I don't have any better shots for this other than this one clip, so I'm just gonna replay it over and over. I usually go for a slightly wider stance, and I always have my feet pointed out, and whenever I'm doing a squat, I never let my knees like cave into me. You can see like, you can kind of see in this shot, like when I'm going down, I make sure my knees go more towards like the outside part of me. I don't let them ever cave in. And then the last thing I'll say is pay note to how the bar takes a generally like straight line path up and down. I'm really not doing a perfect squat in this, but if you're doing it perfectly, your bar should take a straight line up and down when you're doing this whole exercise. Oh yeah, and when you put the bar back, make sure you actually got the bar properly placed on the holders, unless you want to cause a nice little accident. Alright, leg extensions, my least favorite leg exercise, because I hate them. Alright, form. So I've heard that it's better to be more leaned back on this, like probably more than I am in this video. So that's something I'll say. I'm not sure. I don't lean it back that much, but I've heard that you can probably get a better stretch doing that. So maybe keep that in mind. And then for the little bottom foot piece thing, you know, at the where my feet are, I usually like to have that placed a little bit above where my ankles are. I feel like that's the perfect spot where it just doesn't feel kind of awkward doing this exercise, and I still feel like I'm getting good leverage. Oh, and make sure your seat is adjusted in a way that that little inside knee gap is filled in by the seat. And then, you know, it's just the same thing I've been saying this whole video. Explode on the way up, and then try and control the weight as you come back down. And then I'm sure it's really hard to figure out what those side handles are for, but you actually grip them with your hands and it gives you better stability, so you can do that. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this exercise. I feel like it's pretty straightforward for the most part. Alright, the goated leg exercise, leg curls. So let me just say, for some reason, this day we were filming, this leg day, my form on this one was actually just horrible. So I'll go more like into explaining that in a little bit, but I'm just letting you guys know. Oh my god, I keep bumping the mic. Alright, look at that, boom, freeze frame. So when you get set up for this, first you need to make sure that that back seat support thing is in the right spot. The taller you are, the more back you want it, but then the shorter you are, the more forward you'll want it. You can tell if the seat is at the right spot by looking at where your feet are placed on the little foot bar. You want your heels to be touching it and obviously above the foot bar. And then when you're all good there, you can put that pad thing that's above your knees down as much as you can. You want it to be pretty tight, maybe not like insanely tight, but it should be pretty tight where it gives you good leverage when you do this exercise. Now when you do this motion, grab onto the handles, and then when you come back up, make sure you're not locking your knees out, because that's bad. Okay, now look, this is the big mistake that a lot of people make, and I made during this video. So you see how my back is just not on the seat at all times doing this? That's bad, don't do this. I think my seat is pushed too far back, and then that's why I keep sliding out of it. I have no idea why I had my seat so far back. I'm gonna guess that we were working in with some people and maybe I was in a rush, or I just didn't want to mess with their machine settings. I'm gonna go with that. Actually, nah, I just did this on purpose so I could show you guys what bad form looks like, so you guys don't make this mistake, so you're welcome. Now, other than this tragic form, just make sure you do this motion nice and slow. You know, I've told you that a million times now, so hopefully you already knew that. And then another common error I see happen during this exercise is people do half reps a lot, so just make sure you don't do that. I'm actually going to link a video in the description that's quick, and it shows you how to do this exercise with a proper demonstration, so you guys can check that out. I feel bad, the form in this video is so bad. I want you guys to have a proper visual demonstration. Even I am not a perfect gym rat, guys, I'll admit it. Alright guys, we made it. It's the last exercise of the video. If you made it this far and you're hearing this, you're the GOAT. I appreciate you. Alright, standing calf raise machine. I think this is actually the most simple exercise ever. You literally just adjust the shoulder pads to a good height for you. You know that the shoulder pads are at a good height, that when you're getting set up to do it and you put your shoulders under the pads, your body should be kind of crunched in, because this means when you fully extend at the top, you're going to get a full range of motion. And then one thing I have seen some fitness people say is that you might not need to fully go down with your feet before going back up to get the most muscle growth. So I'm just going to say that, but I would definitely not worry about that unless you're some bodybuilder that's watching this video for some reason. Oh, and just to be clear, I do let my feet go down a lot, like more than some fitness people say you need to, but whatever. And then a common mistake I see on this is just bouncing the weight really fast and just not getting a nice range of motion, so don't be one of those bouncers. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I hope this helps at least one person struggling to get into a workout routine. I'm actually going to play a random clip of my roommate and I assembling a table while I talk for this next bit, since I don't know what else to show you guys. And yeah, if you're just getting into fitness, I promise you it's going to be the hardest at the start. If you can just stick with it for some time, it's going to end up becoming just a part of your life. And if you don't have access to a gym, or you're just intimidated to go to one, literally just get a pair of dumbbells and look up a bunch of exercises you can do to hit like everything that I covered in this video from at home with just 2 dumbbells. That's all you need. Like seriously, I started getting really serious about fitness during COVID when we were all in quarantine, and I literally just bought a pair of dumbbells. I looked up a bunch of exercises that I could do, and I split them into a scuffed like at home 3-day split. And I did that for like 8 months and I made insane progress. Alright, I'm going to show you guys some progress pictures I took during COVID. So they're kind of embarrassing, but whatever. I'm going to show you guys just so you can see all of these pictures like you see here. Every single one of them, I was only using 2 dumbbells. And then at the last pictures I'll show you, right there is right around the time that I actually started going back to the gym. But seriously, up until that point, all I had were these 2 dumbbells, I swear. And then obviously in those last 4 pictures I showed you guys, I went into a room with better lighting, and I'm also flexing in those. But I tried to find pictures where I was still in the same room as like those beginning pictures when I was like later into my like months of working out, but I couldn't find any of them. So, but that is, I swear, like even those last 4 pictures, those were from just dumbbells. I had not gone to the gym at the point those pictures were taken. So yeah, whatever. The reason I'm saying all this is you guys can get fit even with just a pair of dumbbells. Even if you don't have dumbbells, like just look up home workouts you can do with just your own body weight. Like if you just grind that out every day for months and months, you're gonna see progress. So you don't need a whole gym to do all this and get fit. And another thing I'm gonna mention is when you get more and more into fitness, you're gonna find a lot of people talking like, oh no, this is more optimal, or no, you gotta do this exercise with this form, not that form. I'm not saying that stuff doesn't matter or is wrong, but like at the end of the day, all that really matters is if you've been working out consistently. So don't stress too much about what's a better exercise or what's a better split to follow. The best things for you to do are the ones that you can confidently say that you can do every day. I don't know if that made sense. Whatever. Okay, I just had to switch pens writing this little rant, so I need to shut up now. I think you guys get the point. Just work out, don't nerd out. I just copyrighted that, by the way. Oh shoot, one more thing. I swear this is going to be the last like main thing. Another very important aspect that I didn't cover at all in this video is nutrition, and I'm not going to go in depth into that right now. Maybe I'll do a different video on that. But I'm just going to make it clear, your nutrition is the most important thing outside of the gym that's going to make you healthier and see visible results. And I'm not gonna lie, all of this workout footage you guys saw this whole video was filmed in October, and I'm recording this last voiceover part in March. So this got stalled a bit from school, and I was lacking a little bit too on it. So since the time this was recorded, I have added some stuff to my workout, and I have changed the split up a little bit. Maybe I'll make an update on it later, but this split is completely fine, so don't worry about that at all. Alright, now I'm done. Thank you guys for watching. Again, if this video helps at least one person start their fitness journey, I'll be happy. Good luck with everything, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Oh, let me give you guys one last vlog intermission with Andrew and Franklin.
Hello.
Bye. Part 2.
Hello, guys.
Bye.
It's good.
Alright, this is the post-workout outro. Alright, yeah.
Please like, share, and subscribe.
Okay, bye. Thank you. Good job filming.
Huh?
Good job filming.